Hello YouTube Stackers. This is ST with Silver Stacking 101, where we always believe in staying stacked and packed. Stacked with silver, gold, food, ammo, and packed with the means necessary to defend our stack. I wanted to do this video from my back porch. I'm outside enjoying the wild nightlife of where I live. And the nightlife is really wild. When I moved here a few weeks ago, I had no idea of the history behind this place, and I'm a big history guy. Not long after I moved here, within 2 or 3 nights, I took a walk in the woods out behind the house and came upon an old slave cemetery. They're fairly easy to identify because they have rough cut stones with no writing on them. As far as I can tell, there are 16 graves out here. I've ordered a big cross that will mark the cemetery, and I'm going to do some other things like put a placard when I get some more history and so forth, because unfortunately quite often these cemeteries are swept aside for development at some point down the road. I want to be sure these people have dignity in death they were denied in life. So it's very important to me to preserve this cemetery for the many years to come. But it got me looking at the history behind where I moved to. This used to be part of a plantation back in the old days. Called a friend of mine who lives close by, and I was telling him about the cemetery. He said, there's 2 cemeteries there. I said, where's the other one? And he told me it's down near the river. And then he told me the following story. Back in the 80s, there was a man who pulled up who was 94 years old at the time and was looking for the cemetery down near the river. My buddy took him down there. This area has changed a lot. New roads have been put in since the 1900, 1910, 1920, and that period is going to be important in a second. Well, when you took the older gentleman back there, the older gentleman looked at the cemetery and started talking about the church that used to be there. And my buddy asked which direction the church sat. So he walked around the cemetery to get an idea, and he said when we came out the door of the church, it had this angle to the cemetery. My friend asked what happened to the church. It turned out this property and the adjacent properties were part of a gold mining town owned by one group. But it had a whole town to support it. The foreman of the gold mine was lifting some of the gold. The owners determined that they were short a good amount of gold over the course of several years. And it was assumed for whatever reason, the foreman buried the gold underneath the church. The owners of the mine, who also owned the property the church was sitting on, decided to torch the church, burn it to the ground, in order to look for the missing gold. Supposedly the gold was not found. But there is gold deposits, or were gold deposits, on this land by the river. And it was a gold mining town for about 20 years. I've done some research since I heard the story, and turns out it's true. This place was a gold mine. So I can honestly say I am sitting on a gold mine, a literal friggin' gold mine. Now, I'm not naive to think I'm going to go out here and strike it rich and dig up nuggets. Honestly, there is gold to be had because adjacent properties have mined. But the time it will take for the payback, I'm probably better off doing what I do for a living. But it's kind of cool to live on a gold mine. Had no idea before I moved here. It's one of those coincidences in life that happen. I'm not saying I'm never going to pan, but back in toward the river, it is a little rough. We have rattlesnakes, copperheads, water moccasins. We got wild hogs. We got stuff that will hunt you back there. So I might wait till at least it cools off so the snakes won't bother me. Me and Indiana Jones, we hate snakes. I can't stand a snake. So guys, this is pretty cool. Not saying I won't look for that missing gold. I'm not saying I haven't already acquired a metal detector and to see what other artifacts I may find. But one of those little coincidences that happen in life that's pretty cool. I just wanted to share this with y'all. By the way, this channel passed 500,000 total video views. That happened while I was moving, and honestly, I looked one day and it was 497. I looked about 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later, it was 503. I didn't even notice when it went over 500,000. I thank you for your support. Let me know what you think. And please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll put on some more videos about this gold mine stuff in more details as I uncover them and verify them. Thank you for watching. God bless you. And remember, stay stacked and packed because we are going to need it.